To find out, João Campos of the Institute of Laryngology and Otology, University of London, is combining his knowledge of human anatomy with computer technology to reconstruct a likeness.
We start with a three-dimensional model of the skull of the mummy, which we got from the CT scans. And based on that model, we identify a series of landmark points. Then we add the soft tissue thickness to each one of these points, because they vary according to the location. To give a more realistic view, what we do is we map the portrait that we got from the case of the mummy. We map that portrait into the reconstructed face. So we have the real texture of the eyes and the eyebrows and the lips and the skin. And the result is a very realistic view of the face.
It seems the real Artemidorus had lost the blush of youth. His face appears fuller and more robust. Clearly, the artist thought his image could be improved. In the past 2 decades, mummies like Artemidorus have been X-rayed, probed, autopsied, and analyzed to satisfy our curiosity about the ancient Egyptians. Now, in an extraordinary turnabout, modern physicians are enlisting the aid of ancient mummies to help save time and lives. Gassaluzzi specializes in ear surgery, a procedure that's both dangerous and tricky. Because of the possibility of damaging the delicate bones in the skull, he's been exploring a novel way to improve the odds.
We've been investigating ways in which we can minimize the amount of risk associated with this type of surgery, improve the safety, and reduce the amount of time that it takes to perform the surgery. In order to do that, we've looked at a variety of ways, one of which is the applications of virtual reality in surgery.
The realm of virtual reality is entered through a graphic 3-dimensional image of a mummy's skull. For the first time, CAT scans like this allow physicians to explore the inner landscape of the ear in detail and plot their procedures before surgery.
This kind of data cannot be just taken from existing scans on patients, because the amount of radiation involved to produce such good quality images would have meant a very large dose of radiation.
The greater the dose of radiation, the more detailed the images, but also the higher the risk of harming living tissue. To get the best pictures without injuring patients, hospitals are using mummies to calibrate their CAT scanners.
Go and destroy those who desecrated the tomb of our princess. He who robs the graves of Egypt dies. He who robs the graves of Egypt dies.
According to the 1950s horror classic, The Mummy, a violent death came to those who disturbed their eternal rest. But in 1995, the mummy's curse turned into a blessing. For Yolanda Sykes and her son Christopher, a visit to the British Museum in London is more than a day's outing. Although he doesn't know it yet, Christopher is about to come face to face with an old friend. During a previous pregnancy, his mother developed a condition called pre-eclampsia, which can cause stunted growth of the fetus. When Christopher came along, doctors at St. Thomas's Hospital decided to keep an eye on him in the womb, using a technique they pioneered to scan mummies for the museum, but this time modified for an ultrasound machine.
Her eyes. Hey, can you see her eyes?
The technique was perfected on an Egyptian priestess nicknamed Jenny.
When you were a baby in my tummy, at the hospital they took special pictures of you in my tummy, and they used that same machine to make the pictures. They used it on Jenny. And how old are you, Christopher? So nearly 3. Well, Jenny's 3,000 years old. And you see beautiful pictures on her.
Christopher is healthy and happy thanks to Jenny, the mummy who reached across time to share the gift of life.
And where her ears. Show me.
There.
Yeah.
There.
And she thinks she's got an ear around the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And her hair, she got stripy hair at the top.
Today, mummies are no longer exotic curiosities, monsters of legend, or even simple works of art. Today, the dead stand with the living on the threshold of the future. For an ancient Egyptian seeking immortality, what more could be bliss?